Hello, my name is Anju Gandhi, Product Manager for Toad for Oracle. Today we will review new features in Toad for Oracle version 12.0 and 12.1 specifically meant for the developers. The features covered will be Connected Intelligence, Code Analysis Enhancements, the new Jump Search, integration with version control system using the new team coding dashboard, resolving Oracle connectivity issues, simplifying your complicated SQL statements for performance tuning, or changing the syntax of SQLs using code refactor, export-import data from to multiple Odbc data sources. Let's review the Connected Intelligence feature, which is the new forum window available in Help Toad World Forums. Before you access this forums window, you will need to sign in on the toadworld.com. If you do not have an account, registration is very simple. You just need to provide your email and very basic information to sign up, and you're all set to access the forums. Of course, you will need internet access while you're using Toad to connect to the forums. Once you are in forums window, you have an ability to browse through multitude of forum posts by fellow users of toadworld.com, which is a community of over 3 million users. So you can click on any forum post and you can see there have been some replies to the posts, and there has been a verified answer by our expert as well. And if you want to reply to the post or you want to start a new discussion from here, you can do that as well. So this is a great way to interact with multiple users who have the same issue as you may have, or you may want to research on anything related to Toad or Oracle in general. If you have multiple blogs open, you can close them using the Toad World Content option. The next feature we'll cover is the code analysis enhancements. Now, if you have any code open in editor, you will see that there are top 20 rules by default that are checked. Now, if I increase that to a more rigorous testing and say I want to check against all the rules that are being violated in the code that is open in editor right now, I switch to all rules, and if I click on here, you will see there's a specific rule. This new rule was added in release 12.0, which says do not use the constants. Instead, try using bind variables in your SQL queries. So this is how we make sure that while you're writing code analysis is actively able to give you feedback on the quality of your code and just tell you if there are going to be any repercussions for it. You can research more about code analysis. It's a great way to make sure that your code quality stays up to the mark without investing too much time in it. The next feature I'll cover is the jump search feature. Now let's say I have mistakenly removed something from here and I'm trying to run this code. Now this is going to return an error. Now if you will see in all our standard error messages, we have added the jump menu. What this does for you is if you have any error, you click on jump, it opens in the search bar here and searches for that error message across all the Toad World articles. You can also take this search out on the website. What this does for you is just shortens the time for you to resolve your issue. Besides this, jump search feature in itself is very useful to search where a specific window in Toad is, where a specific menus, options are located within Toad, and you can research for anything within Toad World as well. And this is going to search for blogs and user forum articles for you. So this is very useful to perform searches. Again, this is a new feature added in 12.0. Now we'll move to the Team Coding dashboard. This is accessible via Utilities, Team Coding Dashboard. All these three browsers that we have here, the VCS browser, the code collections, and the controlled objects, used to be three separate menu items and three separate windows, and it has been now combined under Team Coding Dashboard. This gives a very easy way for you to perform check-in, check-out, and once you double click on it, it opens that code in the editor for you. You can save it, check it back in, and come back to Team Coding Dashboard. Also in version 12.0, we have added support for Team Foundation Server 2012. So when you configure Team Coding, you can see the support for 2012. Also, please make sure to check out the status handlers here. At any time of configuration, if there are any issues found, the respective status will display red cross mark, and if you double click on it, it will take you to the problem resolution area. Let's move on to a new feature now, which is added in release 12.1. Now, while you're establishing connections, let's say you've added a new entry in TNS names Aura, and I am going to just remove the name and just let Toad tell me where the problem is. Now earlier, if I would have done that, I would have received a standard Aura error message. Now in 12.1, what we have added is enhanced diagnostics for making sure the regular culprits for making connections to Oracle are taken care of and respective messaging comes back to you. Now in this case, if you see, it has checked so many items and it has found out that the connector descriptor, which I had intentionally marked wrong, it could not find it in TNS names Aura file. Now, in addition to that, this window also gives you a direct ability to go and modify your TNS Aura file if you wish to, SQLnet Aura file, ping the database server, or do the TNS ping. So you can diagnose, fix the problem for the connectivity, whatever the problem is, your listener is down or anything, it's going to be able to find that issue for you. So this is really helpful for users to establish their connectivity to Oracle. Another great feature while you are developing code is you are constantly either given SQLs that are written by someone else and that are pretty difficult to understand, or over a period of time have grown into a very complicated SQL because of all the changes. So a very new feature in Toad 12.1 is the Refactor. There have been multiple menu options added for Refactor, and I am going to display how this query, which looks really complicated, if I click on Refactor and I say it seems the where clause indentation is little off. As you can see, the E1 is referred multiple times outside of the subquery area. So let me see what it does. As you can see, it just turned such a complicated SQL into a very simple looking, easy to understand SQL. Now I am going to perform another refactor operation on the same query. Let's say I want to remove the concept of subqueries from this query and say just remove the subqueries and just convert them into joins. See how simple it is to understand. So in a matter of single click, you can convert your most complicated and difficult to understand queries into very simple queries. And this is what your SQL optimizer might be doing as well. Oracle optimizer might be doing behind the scenes, but this is a very good feature that you can make sure that before your query goes to optimizer, it is much simpler for you to understand and much better in terms of performance tuning. Another feature that has been added in Toad 12.1 is an ability to export or import data from an Odbc data source. So if I right click on any table and say export data, As you can see, amongst the multitude of sources that are available to export it to, one of them is Odbc database. And of course, you will need to set up your DSN for the MySQL or any other database that you have set up, and you can test the connection. And as you can see here in MySQL, if I do a select, there are no rows currently. And if I run this export right now and go back here in MySQL, I have 88 rows just exported from Oracle database into MySQL database using the Odbc data source.